All right. So good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for joining. My name is Robert Gabriel, President and CEO of Microwise Technology, and welcome to the monthly user group for Lytec. Just a little disclaimer, anything you learn in this seminar, especially this seminar, Microwise cannot be held responsible for any loss of data or revenue, or for today's purpose, for any legality of use of certain tools I'm about to show you. Okay, I also have Kim with us on the line that she's going to help me. And today's agenda is how to generate and customize patient statement, how to utilize ChatGPT, which is everybody's talking about it, how you're going to, my vision of how might be used in a medical practice or billing service. Now, I don't know how legal it is, or when to use it, when not to use it. I'm just going to show you ideas, and it's up to you to apply it for your business or practice. How to handle interest payment and how to post a take back, and open for any Q&A that you might have. I dedicated the time for you today, so if you have any question, please ask me. So I'm going to get started here. So the first thing we're going to do is how the different method of generating statements and how to generate a message on the statement. So statements are two types. There's statements that you print on your own printer and you send it the old-fashioned way. And of course, there's statements using an add-on service such as Bill Flash or any other service. You probably will hear of more services available in the future, but they all work the same way. So let's talk about what controls those messages and how to modify it. So the first one is, of course, is the statement messages. So in statement, there's messages that's based on how old the statement are. So that's a standard message that goes to everybody. Then you can have a separate message when it's over 30 days, or it's for over 60 days, 90 days, and over 120, or maybe if the patient missed a copayment, or if not covered by insurance company. The other message is dunning messages. Dunning messages is applied to while you're posting payment or to modify it. That's a dunning message. Then, of course, there's other messages where you open the hard statement and actually type a message yourself. It's not a dynamic message or logical message. Those are logical because it sees how old the claim is or how old the statement is, then appropriately put the message. The other one will go just like a standard message that goes to everybody. The dunning message is done when you're applying payment. So I'm going to show you that when I'm showing you the take back in a few seconds. Now, if you want to actually to modify the statement itself, you can just go to a report. If you've never done that before, customize a report, then design custom report. Then you can either open the statement that comes in with the system and modify it. Once you modify the statement that comes with the system, then you will need to name it a new name. So those are the different types of statements. So you will open the appropriate one. So let's say if I'm opening this particular one, then I can just go somewhere on the statement and I can type my message. So this is where the standard message is. This is what the dunning message is. So that's the standard message that actually comes from the menu that I show you, the dunning message. I'm going to show you in a minute while you're applying the payment. And that's a new feature in Lytec, that while you're applying payment, you can actually have scanned messages or a message that you can type. Now, if you're, for whatever reason, if you want to have additional message that is above and beyond the standard and the dunning, I can just click here and I can open a box and I can just type whatever message I want to type here. Maybe I want to tell people if you don't pay on time, you might have an intercharge or a processing fee, whatever you want to type there. So once you start modifying anything to the statement, you will need to give it a new name, and that new name will be saved as, and you will have to give it a new name. And that's if you're using printing the statement in-house on your own printers. So that's what you will need to do. Now, of course, I highly recommend you don't print statement in-house, because when you do the math, the cost of ink is very expensive, the cost of paper, the labor, stuffing the envelope, licking the stamp, getting paper cuts and all of that. It's not worth it. If you add your time and add everything else you do, it's actually cheaper if you send the statement using one of the services such as Bill Flash. Also, when you sending bill flash, you have additional two benefit that you will gain. If the patient is opting to receive the statement electronically, so now your statement drops to as little as 25 cents a statement. Now we all know the cost of the stamp is, I think it's 57 cents or something now. But the cost of the paper, the envelope, the return envelope, all of that adds up to over $1. And it's not worth it. It's better to use the service if you're going to do that. Also, it does not take as much time, and you have additional tools as patient will choose to pay online. And I always want to make, you're running a business, regardless if you're a billing company or medical practice, you are running a business, and the easier you make it to your client, the easier you make it to your client to pay, the better cash flow you will have. Now, if you just never seen the electronic statement while I'm talking about it, then let me do it now. So if I go under billing and I will do the statement processing, and if I hit transmit, you will choose the format that you want and you will transmit. So that's, I already transmitted it. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like. So it will open up here. You can actually have a lot more features here where I can actually open the statement itself, and I can type a manual note only on this statement. Picture if this statement was in your hand and you like to type a sticky note on it or something, you still have that power here where if dunning message is not what you want, and maybe you just spoke to this person on the phone and you agreed on something, so you can say, "Hi Bart," and you can just type the note here and you type a message for them. So you still have that power, and this only for the statement here. Or maybe you want to just delete the statement. You don't want to send it because you just spoke to Bart, and you don't want to send the statement, so you're not going to get charged for the statement. Also, now when you use this feature, also you will gain something here. Let's say if I'm in the patient record, I'm sure you've seen some of those features here. Some of you know what it is, some of you might not know. So let's say I am in Adam's account. If you ever see eView, when you click on the eView, you actually see a duplicate. So this is a duplicate copy of the patient statement. I was able to pull that off from the Lytec as from that eView button. So I was able to see that eView button, and I think I got thrown off because of the internet connection. And you get the idea. So I was able to see the statement, and that is a nice feature that you don't get when you send a paper claim, a paper statement to the patient. You will have that. Now let me log in, and I'm going to show you two things. Now I'm going to show you the dunning message note, and I'm going to also show you the how to post the payment with the Mac. All right, so if I'm doing payment and I apply insurance payment, so one of the things in today's topics is how to do a take back. And let's say if I was receiving $100 check from the insurance and there was a take back of $20. Now, all of a sudden now my money to apply is $120. And this, whatever this reference number is, maybe my check number. And I'm going to now start posting this. So when I hit next, I'm opening a patient here. So let's say I'm going to take Adam, the same patient I was working with. And let's see if Adam has any billing number. So let's say Adam has this billing number. And now this is my chargeback. So my chargeback, let's say if they took away $20 from Adam here. So when I do that, the Adam balance is going to change. So right now, Adam balance was $47, but when I do that, Adam balance is going to be a higher amount. So now I can type a note, and that note is a dunning message, and that's a new capability that I'm having here. I can type a note here, and I can print on a patient statement, and I can put my message here. Then I can go ahead and go to the next, and I start applying payment for other people here. So now let's say I have Albert, and now you have here the information. And over here, I can also have my billing note here, and I have my detail as you used to. Okay. Here I have a payment note, print on statement, a write-off note. I can print on statement, and a write-off note too, and I can print on statement. Okay, I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go to the next topic, which is let's talk about ChatGPT that everybody's talking about. Now, you got to be very careful because I'm going to show you things. I don't know if it's kosher or not. I don't know if you can utilize it this way or not. I'm just going to show you what comes into my mind. Of course, you don't want to put any predicted health information, that's obviously, but I'm going to show you some of the ideas that I was able to pull off ChatGPT. So ChatGPT, if you don't know what it is, which is everybody's talking about, ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence that Microsoft actually invested money in. And we don't know yet what is it going to be used for. It's an assistant. Think about it as a virtual assistant that you have that can help you with things that you might have asked somebody in your office to do for you, or to help you with, like check spelling, or write a letter, or double check or proofread something for you. And I'm just going to show you some of the ideas. So let's say this is something that people ask all the time. In New York, we always have a problem with, is this area or the zip code is an upstate or a downstate? So this was an ambiguous zip code. So I asked, is this zip code 14850 upstate or down? And this is what it came up to. So it's so clever and scary at the same time, because it's almost like you're talking to a human. And it just gave me something like zip code 1485 is located in the state of New York, specifically in the central part of the state. And it's telling you, explaining the difference between the upstate and the downstate, and it's suggesting that this is an upstate area, which was kind of ambiguous because it's exactly in the middle, and you don't know if you should be considered as upstate or downstate. Of course, you need things like that to know which Medicare you need to speak with. So that's an example of, now you might Google something like that and you will get a gazillion answer, and you have to process all the answers yourself. Now, by me typing something like that, it's almost like you're speaking to a person. That's why it's called chat. And it responded back with this response here. Now, the next one, which is you have to be very careful applying this. I am asking ChatGPT to create me a SOAP note. So create me a sample medical note for a 55 years old male with abdominal pain. Now, of course, this is very generic, but look how detailed this is. Now, ChatGPT was not written for a medical practice, was not written for a billing company, it's for every generic use, but it's amazing how sophisticated and how it came back and gave me very detailed information with very little. The more information you give it, the more detail it's going to give you. But look how much of the note that it generated for me. And that's, I don't know about you, but that's impressive. Then I came back. Now I know we have a couple coders or billers on the phone and on the line. So don't kill me, because I'm not claiming to be a coder or a medical biller, but I'm just showing you ideas. I say, using the above medical note, give me suggestion billing code, including CPT code, ICD-10 and modifiers. And this is what it came up with. So it's suggesting a code, it's suggesting an ICD-10, and it's telling me the modifiers, suggested modifiers. And it's given, of course, a note with a kind of disclaimer there. Then I just throw in something there. What are the suggested billing prices for 99203? And it just came back and say, as of 2021. And the reason that's saying 2021, because the free version of ChatGPT has not been updated as of October 2021. The paid version is more updated. I was actually trying to sign up for the paid version, but since I'm actually in Egypt, my credit card was not able to get processed through ChatGPT. I'm physically in Egypt right now as we speak, and that's why I am in an area where bad internet. I'm not in the office. We do actually have an office in Egypt that has a very good connection, but where I am now, it doesn't have a good connection. Okay. The next thing is I said, okay, generate me an appeal letter for Medicare of New Jersey with a rejection for medical claim for emergency surgery done for 55 years old male, John Doe. Then it create me the appeal letter. Now you can be more specific, and it will actually write you the stuff. And if you ever worry about what to write and how firm you should be or how hard you should be, you can actually give this instruction to ChatGPT and it will write it for you. So that's some of the ideas that comes into my head. Now, ChatGPT is just like a calculator or a computer. Everybody might have a different use for it. It's a tool. It's a very new tool, and everybody's going to use it different, but those are some of the ideas that came up to my head. I give it an example here for maybe I'm writing an article and I want to advise people on how to secure their password for medical office. And this is what it came up with. And it's given me a very detailed in the medical office. Protecting sensitive patient information is crucial. One of the simplest, most effective ways is just to ensure the password are strong and secure, and is giving you steps of what to do, what not to do with all the steps. Then I ask it, what are the recommended password software management, which is something I use and highly recommend. And I used LastPass, and it came back and gave me other suggestions with a disclaimer there on how to use it. And the next thing is I ask it to write me a greeting or wishing my staff a happy Ramadan. And this is how detailed it came up with. And I think that's very nice, because I don't know about you, but I hate writing. And sometimes I want to write something and I just always shy of the misspelling because I'm a terrible writer. And sometimes, not being creative enough or don't enjoy writing, but you can have ChatGPT help you with writing. Or if you write something or you wrote something, then you can have ChatGPT use it you can ask it for advice to modify or correction or proofreading. Any questions? Did anybody on the call use ChatGPT before? Just want to make sure everybody's awake.
Nope, no, never used it.
Who's this?
I'm Tammy.
Hi, Tammy. What do you think so far?
It's very impressive.
It's kind of scary, but one of my developers was kind of like being, he was joking and he was telling me, let me see if my job will ever be replaced. And I said, okay, give me, I don't want to get technical, but give me a request for an API, which is something technical. And his jaw dropped of how detailed ChatGPT was able to write a coding for a program that in a few seconds. And it's amazing how detailed it is and this is just the version 1.0. Can you imagine what this can do 5 years from now? Or so hopefully it's not replacing many people's jobs. Hopefully this is just a tool that helped us to be better, just like computers did. A lot of people were scared of computers, but we all cannot live without computers today. It's helping us in so many ways. And I'm hoping artificial intelligence in general, not a particular brand, will help us with doing better job and more sophisticated stuff. But it's amazing what this can do. So I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to get you up to date, as I always did, on what's going on around you in the world.
It would be great to use it to verify people's health insurance instead of having to call or look up online.
Yeah, but that's a very specific. What ChatGPT is doing is scanning the internet for all the different answers and using artificial intelligence to compare answers and give you the best answer, or combine different suggestion of answers. But to be able to tell you if that patient that is information that's not available online. So it's doing what you normally would do and process data online by Googling. So instead of Googling and you trying to pick the best answer, it's doing the Googling for you, or the scanning of the internet for you, and come up with almost like a knowledgeable human what would say. So that information is available online. It's not something it just was able to gather it for you, process it, and combine it. Maybe the skills of writing, it's something you taught the robot or whoever, the artificial intelligence of how to do, and it's just using it in a much better way than what a human normally would do, because the writing is amazing. You can go back and say, you know what, and make it more detailed. Give me 500 words or give me 1,000 words, and the same letter will become maybe a lot more complex, or from the appeal letter, maybe by giving it more details. But yes, I wish it will able to tell us if the insurance will pay for such CPT code and if their insurance is covered or not. But we don't know. Maybe software companies will write it where that information is integrated with clearinghouses, and some information is pulled off the clearinghouse and then processed through artificial intelligence and give us a much quicker way to answer questions. So we don't know yet how developers are going to integrate such ideas into their software. So that's the sky's the limit of how each company and each developer or each entrepreneur and business owners and managers going to utilize tools like that to make their life easier and to make other people's life easier. That's innovation, that's creativity, and we don't know yet. This is just similar to internet. When internet came out, nobody had any idea how we're going to use internet. Like I remember when internet came out, I says, I'm old enough, I'm going to date myself now. I says, I don't know if anybody's that old on the phone. I say, well, we have bulletin boards. Like in the old days, you dial up and you dial. Let's say I'm logging into Dell and I'm able to dial a number, and I log into Dell and I'm able to see information through Dell bulletin board. So I said, we have bulletin board. Why we have internet? Like, isn't that redundant? And just look what the internet is doing for us today. And this meeting without internet will not happen this way. You had to come. We have to be all in one place and facing each other, that's the good old days. And yes, of course, we enjoy seeing each other, but the internet just opened so many different ideas or doors, or generated a whole different type of business. And of course, it made certain things obsolete, but it opened up many doors. So we don't know yet what artificial intelligence is going to open for us. The sky is the limit here. So I hope you like what you see. I think everybody should play with this and use their creativity of how they're going to use this. And please, if you find something clever, and please share it with me. So let me make sure that everybody has my contact information. This is my email address, robertg@microwise.com, and this is my direct phone number. And no matter where I am, this number rings to me. I want to thank you so much for joining today. I want to thank you so much for your business, and I hope to see you again in future seminars. And please send me a note and just tell me if you figure out a way in the future how to use ChatGPT or any other tools. And if you have any other suggestions or anything you want to ask me about, suggestion for future seminars or topics, please let me know. I want to thank you so much for joining us today. I want to thank you for your time, your business, and have a wonderful day.